Hey, how's everybody doing? Welcome back to Ask That Podcast here on YouTube. I actually have filmed this before. I've mentioned for some videos, I filmed a bunch. When I get a chance to film, sit down and film 10, 20 videos. These were ones I got filmed earlier this year, early 2021, then my computer went down. I had to send it to get fixed. When I came back, they had to wipe the drive. So I lost them. And I just realized earlier I lost them. This is some more of those Gwandanaland comics. They do public domain reprints. Amazon on demand, or directly from the guy. Search for, I think it's Lance Jones, but search for like Gwandanaland or Friends of Gwandanaland. I think it's the name on Facebook on the info. And what this is from the, what is it? Late 60s, early 69 on this one. This one's 70, okay. Late 60s, this company called Eerie Publications put out these books. Tales of Voodoo's one, Tales from the Tombs and others, like Witch's Tale. And what they did is they basically took old pre-code horror stories, sometimes redrew them, sometimes didn't, and just reprinted them. Because most of the companies that done those pre-code stories were out of business or just didn't give a fuck. And I've always wanted, these are ones where I kind of remember seeing a few issues here and there as a kid on the newsstand. Because I think they lasted long enough for me to see as a little kid. But I do remember seeing them in comic shops. And every time back then, I'd be digging through the magazine and, oh man, you don't want them to look at Creepy and Eerie, they're better. I remember saying, guys, somebody, hey, Skywall stuff ain't worth a shit, Creepy and Eerie, and now I've learned that Skywall was pretty good. So I took a chance on these. These were, I think, $7, reprints, one full issue. This is Tales of Voodoo number 2, volume, I think it's volume 2, number 2. And I like how they give artist attribution, they trip the art. Carl Burgos did the cover. Look at that cover, man. They were just like gory as hell covers. It's 35 cents at 69, which is high, because comics in 69 were what, about 12, 15 cents? Got some good art there. This is volume 2, number 1. This is Tales of Voodoo number 2. Who knows? Published bi-monthly by Eerie. There's no copyright on this, and the other thing they do is they put at the bottom of each story that's from Strange Fantasy number 5. This is Death Strikes 4. Pretty good art. This one does not look like that much was redrawn. Now, these were black and white. The only thing that was in color on these was the covers. So in these reprints, you're going to get, the covers are going to be black and white. And they're just straight, they don't touch up the skins. Dragon Egg from Fantastic Fears number 7. Look at that dragon. That looks pretty cool. I love these horror anthologies. That's what I usually, a Congo Terror from Voodoo number 3. I actually remember reading that one before. I keep these in the bathroom on top of the hamper, and you get up in the morning trying to wake up and doing your morning business on the commode there. I'll sit here and read one of these, read one of the stories. And they've got big, thick, like compendium books, or like big, thick ones, kind of like the Marvel Essential line of these. But I was like, I don't know, those are like $20. I didn't want to drop that kind of cash. I didn't know if I enjoy it. I bought these 2. I have not bought any more yet, but I do want some more. I say these 2 because I'm sure the other one, Voodoo number 10, The Vanishing Dead. So you got a lot of stories. And that's the thing. Another thing, another little like fallacy that I was told as a kid, as a kid, and I was going in comic shops in the early 80s. I was a kid that was like 6, 7, and 8 going in the comic shop with, basically what would happen is we go over to Biloxi to visit my grandparents. And for a long time, my aunt and uncle lived next door to my grandparents. So my uncle loved comics too. So we'd hang out a little bit and be like, hey, you want to go with me to the comic shop? He just wanted to get away. So I'd hop in the car with him. We'd go to the comic shop. And I'd always have a few bucks in my pocket. And he'd always, I'll get you something. He'd give me something. But they always, I always heard in there, all the pre-code horror stuff, the only ones worth reading are EC. No, some of the other ones are pretty good. Like, I really enjoy the stuff from Ace. And then, what's that other company? I read a pile of their stuff. Ace and maybe Ajax. There's like quite a few of them that, hey, come here. My dog's trying to eat something off the floor. No, don't eat fuzzies off the floor. But there's some decent stuff. And the good thing is most of that pre-code stuff is public domain. Now, Mask of the Monster from Voodoo number 10. That's a cool looking image. That monster, look at that. And it's honest, Cadaver's Revenge from Strange. I love the skull. I want to take that skull and use it for something. And the thing is that, when you find these nowadays, beat up copies are going to run you about as much. I mean, really beat up copies, run as much as these reprints will. And the only thing you're getting different is, the covers are black and white. But it's only one cover in a book. Harry from Strange Fantasy 9. I have no idea. Excuse me, sorry. Wait, Wes, bring the lusty frontier to life. And then we get on the back here. Let's see. When Eerie publication hit the scene in the mid-'60s, they hit upon an interesting idea for writing their horror stories. They just wouldn't do it. Why pay writers? They apparently thought, when there were so many great horror comic stories already out there. So Eerie took stories already in print, mostly from the early 50s, and gave them to artists to redraw in modern vein. Generally more graphic, more gory. Sometimes the original stories were reworked, but more often it was redrawn altogether. This was not strictly speaking legal. In fact, it was piracy. Still, either no one noticed, perhaps thinking that the story seemed vaguely familiar at times, or no one was left in those companies to care. Either way, Eerie Publications put out some excellent work and left comics historians with an interesting study. Tales of Voodoo had a great 36-issue run over 6 years. Some classic examples of the excellent stories of the Golden Age of horror and the modern artist interpretation comic history from Gwandanaland. And then I have, switch them out. This is from sometime in June of 70. This is Tales from the Tomb, issue 5. And what I did with these is I just kind of went and picked out the covers that caught mine. What made me remember these, I remember seeing, like I said, this kid, forgot all about them. Completely forgot about these. From back in like 2008, 2009, sometime around there, Video Asia was putting out these horror sets, like 2 horror movies, one on each side of the disc. And they ripped off these covers, and the sets were called like Tales of Voodoo and shit like that. And they just ripped off the covers and put like the movie titles here and covered that part up, And it reminded me, I want some more. So I started looking. I'm like, I don't want to pay. I don't mind a well-read comic. But the ones that were like, I'll see it for $7, $8 were just beat the hell and back. And one in kind of shape I would want, I'm like, $20, no. So when I saw, Gwandana was doing this, I had to get it. Tales from the Tomb. Picto-Fiction Horror Collection. Weird. Tales of Voodoo. Tales from the Tomb. Terror Tales, Horror Tales, and Witches' Tales. I'll do 5 issues a year, and it's $2.75 for subscription, man. God, back then as a kid, well, I wasn't around, but I would have definitely done that. Oh, Potluck Special. Any 4-back issues in our files for $1. We get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stories. Chamber of Chills, 24. The Thing from the that looks badass. The Thing from the Grave. Ooh, spooky. If I ever explained the spooky, okay. Back in the day, there's a lot of little phrases and shit that I use that only like 5 people would get, because quite a few people are around for this shit are dead now. But back in the day, we used to always gather at Devil's Plague from Beware Number 7. We used to go there at my buddy Butch's house and watch movies all the time. He had an antenna, that was it. He didn't have cable. It was broke. But it was kind of like, either you brought a movie from your house, or if you have a couple extra bucks, you go rent one. It's kind of, if you're renting a movie, you're Butch will sit around and watch it. Well, we've seen so many shitty horror movies, and there's always people like, man, you ever notice these movies are like, ooh, spooky, and they're not. And that just became code for something that just looks cheesy, but it's supposed to be scary. He still does as far as, and I haven't talked to him in a long while. Fire Monster from Beware Number 9. I like that image of the Fire Monster, that face in it. And I've actually been tempted to sit down and go through these and find the Haunted Girls number 11, Blood in the Sky. Find the comics that are originally printed and see how different they are. I just have not done that yet. Matter of fact, I forgot where these were. These got put in a box. Facts for ghouls. The last corpse in the cemetery must guard the other graves. Pissed the cemetery was abandoned in 1800. The palms of a baby are washed before he is a year old. The child will never have money. No wonder 2/3 of the world is poor. If you would regain your youthfulness, eat snake. That's a queer one. Snake. If a man swears on a skull and tells a lie, he will be struck dead. This man swore a lie and was struck dead 2 centuries later. They called him Count Dracula. This is the shit when they come up with to put in the film page. Hissing horror from Fantastic Fears number 4. I love this company, this Gwandanaland, because they just, I don't mind scans. I'll be the first one to admit, I don't mind scans. I have a lot of comic scans. A lot of it's stuff I actually own. A lot of it's stuff that's public domain. But I like a physical copy here and there, and I like, these are inexpensive. I've only bought one of their color volumes, and that was the Zombie's Bride. That was the complete question run from the Charlton era. And it looks great, but man, it was like, it's about as thick as two of these put together. It was like $15. Sound of Morning. Voodoo, number 6. 18. 18, yeah. So not bad little books. They look decent. The monster-sized monster, 7 feet tall. Polaris nuclear sub. Remember the episode of Get a Life where he orders one? And as a kid, it finally comes in, he's grown, they put it together, and they're trapped in it. Okay, and the only difference is the bottom part here. Tales from the Tomb had a great 32 run over 6 years. So, yeah, not bad. I enjoy them. And they're doing a deal right now in that Facebook group. I can't remember how much it is, but the guy who runs the company will send you a drive with PDFs of everything they have out, and every month when new stuff comes out, he'll send you more, copy. I think he's to get a little money into the company because, Marshall, this is not this guy's main job. He does this on the side for a little extra cash and probably does not make that much. But if you're interested, check out Gwandanaland. Just go to Google, go to Amazon, punch it in, you'll find all of them on there. Or go to Facebook and punch in, you'll find the group. If you order directly from the guy that runs it, you get a smaller discount, but you got to pay for shipping. Amazon, if you got Prime free shipping, or what's that? What is the Amazon total now? You got to pay how much you have to order to get free shipping? I have no clue. I've had Amazon Prime for so long now. I'm out, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Remember, if you did, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe, all the other bullshit. Talk to everybody later. Bye-bye.